What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our next volume review in the line of Walking Dead trade paperback reviews, and this one is going to be for volume 12, and this one is Life Among Them. Really cool here. You can see on the cover you have Carl, and he's kind of on the corner of a building, kind of ready to go type deal, so that's pretty cool. This will contain spoilers if you have not read this part of the comic book series up to now, volume 12 out of 26. We are going ahead on this channel and we're doing a review of each Walking Dead volume. So if any of you guys, in the future, maybe way down the road, would want to see a review of any single part of the comic book series, you can check it out. And it'll be in the playlist because I'm putting these all in a playlist. So yeah, it is probably my longest playlist ever because I have 11 videos on it now 12. So that's awesome. So picking up after last trade with Fear the Hunters, you have the death of Dale and all that stuff. The hunters are being killed off very quickly. And also the death of both Ben and Billy, which Carl killed Ben and Billy, or killed Ben at least. So I think it's kind of cool he's on the cover of the comic, right? That's pretty awesome. So let's open up the trade. I kind of like this shot though, because at the beginning of the trade you have Rick, and he's looking out of, a huge herd, so to speak, and he's looking at over like a whole lot of zombies, and they have to basically move. And he talks a little bit to Carl about what he did with Ben and all that, and it's a pretty crazy moment where they talk about, you will have to eventually, you're gonna have to sometimes. That's what Rick tells him, at least. You're gonna have to, sometimes, and I support you for that. That's basically what he tells him. So that's pretty crazy. But also, you can clearly tell this is a time skip because, or at least there's been a time skip, because Rick's beard is like really, really huge, right? So that just gives you the indication that there's been at least about a week that's passed, maybe more. So yeah, the interesting part here is that Abraham starts freaking out because he's saying, "Well, Rick, there's a huge herd. We need to move, right?" And this is the part in the comic book series that was in the TV series in episode 5 of season 5, when Eugene reveals he's not a scientist. But in the comic book series, it's kind of more a simple way of him confirming it, because Abraham kind of grabs him and he drops a communicator device, which they found out has no batteries in the device, and that leads to the realization that he doesn't have a cure, and he's been lying this entire time. And Abraham starts kicking him, right? And he's mad. But in the comic series, man, he wrecks him. Yeah, he really does. In the TV series, he does too, though. Like, I think even more in the TV series, because he literally punches him in his face, just hits the ground on the rocks and everything. A very, very crazy sequence. So later on that night, actually, they have a scene where this random guy shows up, and this is this whole trade right here is kind of like the season 5, like early second half type part right here. This is what this is. So this is the beginning of Alexandria and that type of thing, if you're wondering. But yeah, so Aaron in the comic series kind of just shows up in the middle of the night in front of everybody. It was different in the TV series. It was like in the middle of the morning or whatever, right? But there he is, and he says, "Could one of you point me into whoever is in charge of this little group?" And yeah, Rick, just like he did in the TV series, knocks him out immediately, right? just does not trust this guy. And they capture him for a while. They kind of get answers about Alexandria before because they obviously they can't just go for it because it's kind of, but then they kind of do come to the realization that this guy is legit, and they do go to Alexandria. But on their way there, of course, there is a couple things we find out while they're on their way. Of course, we do find out that Aaron has a boyfriend, that he is gay. So that's no offense to gay people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, cool. It's it's cool confirmation there. And they do end up to Washington. You can see which one says Washington, right there. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. They actually, in the comic series, they actually go in Washington, like in the actual city. In the TV show, they only kind of see it from a mile away, but they actually go in the city, and they actually do find a couple things on their way there. Just scavenge, that type of thing. So, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so, There is, okay, so, yeah, this is when they get to Alexandria. Here's the gates. So that's pretty cool. You can tell the difference between the inside and the outside of the community of Alexandria. That's for sure, right? And you just kind of see Rick's face, and he kind of is kind of happy about things. He kind of thinks, wow, this could be actually a home, and maybe we're not going to be on the road, for the rest of our lives, really, until we all starve to death. So it's weird. Like, it's just weird for them, because here's the interpretation of Deanna in the comic series. In the comic series, it's actually a male, and his name is Douglas, I believe. Yeah, Douglas. So Douglas is a character who he doesn't really he's not really a fighter. None of them are in the community. It's basically just like the TV series, if you've seen it. It's just like the TV show when it comes to how weird they think it is. Rick gets his hair cut, of course, right here, and that's cool because he's shaving there. But then here, it's Jesse. That's Jesse in the comic series right there. That's cutting his hair just like she did in the TV series. So a lot of the stuff in the TV series they did do in the comic series. Rick ends up being a officer again. Right, a constable for the community. So again, it's just it's awesome to see, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And they have the part here where let me see. Where there's actually they celebrate Halloween in the community. So that's weird, man. Like for them, I mean that is weird, And Douglas says, Carl, I like your costume. It's cool, right? And he's like, I'm myself, right? So it's very, very, very different. They actually have a party in Alexandria, like they did a few episodes after they got introduced. Kind of a welcoming party for everybody. And in the comic book series, it was actually, or in the TV series, it was actually Sasha who was kind of losing it in the community. She was just going insane. In the comic book series, it's Michonne who kind of can't fit in that wall, right? And she keeps going on the outside. That's kind of what they captured in the TV series with Sasha, roughly. So that's cool. Glenn, you can just see he's had way too much, right? Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. And then Rick tells Glenn, at the very end, go get our guns, right? Go get our guns. So that's the end of this one. So yeah, this is an interesting volume for The Walking Dead. I do have to say, this is to rate it, I'm gonna give this one. It's difficult to rate this one because it's good, but it's very different. Like very, very, very different. It's definitely, there's no other trade paperback that we'll probably ever see from the comic book series that is really like this. I can't really think of one that is similar to this one. This one and maybe volume 13, the one we're going to review next, because that one has the same kind of feel as this one. But, well, 14 is amazing. I can't wait to review that one. But I can't. This trade for me, I'm going to only give it a 8.6. I think it's just because how different it is, but it is cool to see that the characters in a new environment and to have them have a home. There is slight action. I mean, there's some in the beginning, in the first few pages or so, but after that, it kind of the action once they get in Alexandria, it's very anticlimactic, I would say. There's not too much, but volume 13 and 14 are both amazing. I just think this one, I think the reason why I'm not a big fan of this one is because it's a real game changer, and you really have to get used to like a brand new storyline all over again. It's very different, and I think that they did a better job in the TV series, probably just because it's actually real filmed. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But I have probably most likely another video coming today, so check back for that. And if you like the video, please send up if you mind. We're at 19 subscribers now, so that's awesome. And one more and I can get to 20 subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 50 very soon. I'm going for a goal right now. But I'll see you guys later. Peace.